Welcome to the 2021 Cedar Falls Service Recognition Reception. This is always just a tremendous afternoon to recognize our retirees. It certainly is a bittersweet time. I just had this conversation with one of our retirees. It is bittersweet. We are extremely happy for every single one of you, but we also know we're extremely sad to lose you as a person for what you do for our kids each and every day. And we can't thank you enough for what you have provided for our school district, our community, and especially our students. Today, we're going to have our building principals say a few words about each of our retirees. We do have a commemorative clock to say thank you for your years of service and just a recognition of, again, our deep gratitude for what you provided for all of us across Cedar Falls. And then for those that also received a lifetime activity pass, and that is within the bag as well. Again, it's just a small appreciation as a thank you for all of you. I would say, again, your experience, your compassion, especially your focus on students will be missed, but I think this is so important. Your legacy will live on for generations with the impact each of you have had on our students, not only current, but past, and your impact is going to make them better individuals in our world a better place. So thank you for that from the bottom of my heart. I do know nobody ever comes to this in these activities to listen to me. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Becker.
All right. And I have the honor to talk about Jane Carter. So Jane and I have worked together obviously for over 20 years in so many different capacities. I came into that athletic director role 3 years ago with all these great ideas and how I was going to do things, and learned in a hurry how thankful I was that Jane trained me. And also to your comment about being sad, I am the saddest person in the room, losing everything that Jane does. And obviously, so many things in that position, and so valuable to so many different people. Number one thing you all know about Jane, positivity. It's impossible to have a bad day when you walk in the office with Jane Carter. Regardless of the situation, she's always happy, she's always positive. The other thing about Jane, as you'll know, she's the greatest tiger in town. And sometimes, like when we have all the freshmen come through, 10 students at a time over the entire day, and she sings and plays loyalty for everybody. Sometimes I wish there was a little less enthusiasm. She sings it with as much enthusiasm at 2 o'clock as she does at 8 o'clock. So many people reach out to me, Scott and Jan, and obviously at the bus garage coaches, to say, how much you mean to them and how valuable you are to them. And I want to echo that thing. And of course, we all know everybody loves Jane Carter, and she's everybody's friend, and it's so genuine, and that's why it is. So Jane, man, we wish you the best. I have your cell number. Please don't change it. We'll take all the help we can get. We love you. Congratulations.
And I know Jane never likes attention, but my wife would say the best cycling instructor in the world. So up next, we'll have from Cedar High, Mr. Jones.
Didn't think I was getting an introduction, so I appreciate that. I told him when I came in, I was getting an introduction. Everybody else was, but. I have the distinct pleasure to talk about 3 individuals today. I'm going to ask each of them to come up here up front with me as I talk about them. I know that's going to make all of their skin crawls, and I'm partially doing it. So we'll start with Chris Armand. Chris, if you want to come up first, please. you don't know Chris, she's our media secretary at home, and has been for quite some time. And actually, before I talk about Chris as an individual, I just want to talk a little bit about the group of people that are retiring from Homes Junior High this school year. They have a combined total experience of 97 years of expertise and knowledge and passion for working with students that are walking out of our door at the end of this school year. So I think about 97 years, almost a century's worth of experience. That's obviously says a lot about three individuals who led the pleasure to talk about today. I think this school year, it seems like this school year should count for like 4 or 5 school years. Go ahead and round up. I think we're well over 100 years at this point. With that, those 97 years, 65 of them actually were spent here in Cedar Falls. Okay, so, yeah, pretty special group today. Chris, she's been in education for 27 years and has been at Cedar Falls and Homes for about 22 of those years. Started her career with us as a paraeducator and then moved into a secretarial role with us. When I was thinking about Chris and what I wanted to share with all of you today about her as an individual in the building, the thing that I kept coming back to is she is one of those people that I think employers would describe as a rock of consistency. Like one of those people where you never have to worry about if she's going to be there, she's dependable, she's reliable, she's consistent with what she does. Every day she comes with a smile and positivity, empathy for our kids, which sometimes is very difficult to have in a junior high setting after they've forgotten their Chromebook for the 100th time as they were going through there. She's also one of those employees who works in the background, doesn't want the spotlight. And again, I know she doesn't want to be standing up here right now. She encouraged me to keep whatever remarks I was going to make pretty short and pretty to the point. But she's one of those people who, because she works in the background, makes things run efficiently and effectively for all of our students and all of our staff. Obviously, we go through the day and make sure that things run in a smooth and orderly sort of fashion. Talked with her a little bit about her favorite memory. She didn't have one, or couldn't sort of condense it down to one, but she said every year, something new, made so many friends over the years, and have always enjoyed working with staff and students, which is what she just remembers and is taken away from the position. Plans for retirement, she's going to go and spend some time in Des Moines, where her immediate family is located. She has 2 grandkids down there. Is looking really forward to spending time with them. She noted that she found a townhouse in Urbandale that she fell in love with, and is really looking forward to not having to do the snow removal and gardening and everything. So pleased with that. She also let her son and daughter-in-law know that if they ever planned to move, that is fine, but the grandkids are just wanted to be clear up front on that right away, that you can miss the kids because she finished up by saying, hey, this move is going to be bittersweet. So hard to leave the job that I absolutely love, but I understand that life is short and wants to experience the next chapter with her family. So walking out the door, last day of June is going to feel normal. In August, she thinks it's probably been there. And certainly working with her as well. So thank you for all that you've done, Chris.
Thank you.
Yes, congratulations.
Thank you.
I don't think Kathy has snuck in yet, has she? So I guess you're up next, Mrs. Talbot. It was hard to get anything out of Lisa. Number one, I think I had emailed her like 4 or 5 times. No, that's an exaggeration. She said, I thought we were just going to go and eat cake. Just go and eat cake, but they're expecting me to make some remarks about it. So help me out a little bit and tell me some things that you'd like me to share with them about you. As I think about Lisa, though, number one, 27 years in education and 22 years here, or 17 years here in Cedar Falls. As I was thinking about Lisa and what I wanted to share about her and all of you, one kind of event that coming back to me, again, it's this related to this school year. This school year has been challenging for a lot of us in many ways, and certainly Lisa in that way as well. I'm going to share some remarks at the end from her that I think will express that a little bit. At the beginning of the school year, I went to Lisa and asked her if she would be willing. Well, I didn't really ask her, I think I probably just told her that she was going to be teaching a virtual section of our Honors English 9 class. We really tried hard to distinguish those people who were going to teach in person versus those people who were going to teach online, because we didn't want to have people living in both worlds, because we knew how challenging that was going to be. Lisa, as she always does with great professionalism and grace, stepped up to the plate. I think she was pretty apprehensive about what that experience was going to look like, not for herself, but for the students that she was going to be serving. You know, and making sure that they were going to have a great experience during the time that she was working with them. Toward the end of the year, Lisa stopped into my office and she had this bound up piece of work that a student had provided to me. Remember this, Lisa? This was probably April-ish, you know, time of the year where things are really tough and we're all looking for the reason or trying to remind ourselves why did we get into this business to begin with. Certainly we always reflect on that why and think back to it all into education because we want to make a difference in students' lives. And certainly what Lisa brought to my office that day is a reflection of the difference that she had made in this young man's life. So she had this bound up piece of work, poems that he had basically created throughout the school year, and really was his social emotional journey that he had experienced that Lisa provided a platform for him to express himself in a way that was very positive and very constructive. He wanted to line it up and give it to, I think, the entire staff. He was going to make copies for everybody. Make something that, again, I think just speaks to the apprehension that Lisa had going into that experience, new technology, something she'd never done before in her career, but the experience that she provided to those students was certainly tremendous. So thank you for that, Lisa. Also asked Lisa about her favorite members, and she could not narrow it down just to one, so there was a couple that I just wanted to share with you. She's been the director of a variety show for a number of years, for more than a decade. So she talked about the one time that they did Thriller, and the kids really enjoyed that. And she used the word zombifying. I don't know if that's a word that the English teacher used this, so I feel like she also talked about hosting poetry slams in her classroom for the students. And always there was at least a couple students who surprised her with their willingness to share in the talent that they had hidden, that were oftentimes reluctant speakers, you know, during the classroom setting, but really came out of their shell during that environment. I think one of the students recently actually was the state winner in Iowa that Lisa helped mentor and had earned a trip to Washington, D.C. before COVID shut things down. And then she also talked about attending the annual Iowa Council for the Teachers English Conference with her colleagues and just the relationship that she was able to build with them. Plans for retirement. Adrian sounds like she has lots of plans for the house. I don't know if you're involved in that or not. Good luck to you for that. Getting the dog, editing Brother's book. The last thing that I leave you with about Lisa, and I think this is just a great reflection of who she is as a person and who she is as a teacher. Obviously, as an English teacher, writing is extremely important, so she's written in a journal every year. After the first year, she wrote, "I can't believe they paid me for doing this job." I'm going to get emotional. I do it for free. That's pretty much how I felt every day doing this job. She said she's planning to write this year, "I still love this job. It took a worldwide pandemic to make me quit." She says she's been incredibly fortunate for serving our students, and certainly we feel the same way. So thank you, Lisa. Kathy, make it in? Oh, yeah.
Up next, we have Mr. Cedar.
Thank you. Jones is a tough guy to follow. All right, well, welcome. Thanks, everybody, for coming. Diane, can I get you to come up here with me? If you can tell by the look on her face, Diane loves being front and center. All right. Well, this is Diane Kendall, and she has been with the district for 28 years and done a great job. And she's been a PEAT, been the attendance person for the last 21 years. And in fact, I came to PEAT to interview for a math position 20 years ago, probably almost 20 years ago to the day. And she was the first person I met. And she might not remember that, but I do. And she and Darlene were in the office, and I walked in, and she said, "Oh, what's your name?" And I told her, and she goes, "Have a seat." But in all seriousness, Diane has made a positive impact at PEAT in lots of different ways with her dedication and follow through. you know, it's very rare that we have kids that are truant from class. Because if a student is marked absent and it shows up on her computer, Diane instantly is out of her seat and she's hunting that kid down. And then they'll come to the office and get dealt with and get them back to class right away. So she's very thorough. But that makes a big difference because kids know, hey, you just can't skip and get away with it. So certainly we appreciate all she's done. She's made a positive impact for everybody with her thoroughness. Diane also was good at organizing some fun things. You know, a lot of times people talk about the Peak family and that type of thing, and she deserves a lot of credit for that. She would organize things like the chili cook-off. Now, none of this took place this year, but the chili cook-off. Other potlucks, we had the Super Bowl party, S-O-U-P-E-R Bowl party, and lots of things where teachers would get together and have a chance to talk, and it just kind of helps form a community. So I appreciate all those things she's done for Pete. She's also somebody that's willing to help out in any way she can. You know, if somebody's gone in the office, we don't get a substitute for them, and everybody just kind of chips in. And you know, once in a while, we have two of the 4 people gone, and I think one time you were there flying solo.
One time.
And it made me nervous, so I left the building too. In closing, I'll just say we're all going to miss having Diane around. She's been a mainstay in the office for a long, long time. I asked her, you know, hey, what are you looking forward to doing after retirement? She says, I'm looking forward to doing a lot of traveling. And I know she's looking forward to being more time as a grandma. Her granddaughter lives real close. In fact, I drove by this weekend and you were in the driveway getting her bicycle riding lesson. So I'm confident she is a terrific grandma, and we're going to miss you very much.
I know, is this short?
Terry Kenzer, and she's been a counselor at Pete for the last 11 years and also done a great job with so many things. But first, a little bit about Terry. Prior to coming to Pete, she was a counselor at Columbus Junction, and she also, she taught Spanish at Columbus Junction, and she was a counselor in 2 other schools before she came to Pete. And most people probably don't know this, but she was the Counselor of the Year for Iowa in 2005. So that speaks to the job Terry does when she's working with kids and helping everybody out in the building. One thing I remember always thinking about Terry is she's willing to help out in any way she can. You know, she has her role as a counselor, but a few years ago, we were in a bind with scheduling, and it's like, we need someone to teach the cultures class. And having taught Spanish, Terry's like, I'll do it. She just jumped in and helped out. You know, she still had her regular things to do, but she did that. She's also helped Mr. Carter in Health and Careers class, kind of focusing on the careers part of it. So she's willing to do whatever to help out, and that's an attribute we really love. As a counselor, Terry had a real gift for reaching kids that struggle a lot, you know, and this year it's probably been more so than ever. But some kids struggle when they get to junior high for whatever reason. She would have a way of making a connection with them and helping them feel welcome at Pete and help them get through and be as successful as they can. So that's one of the things I'll always remember about her, and she has a real gift with that. In retirement, Sherry's looking forward to spending time with Greg. And she also has 3 kids and 7 grandkids, and I know she thinks grandkid time is about as precious as it can be. When I asked her, well, what do you want to do with your retirement? And she said, well, I have a new puppy. I want to spend time with her. That's some brand new, isn't it?
Brand new, got her yesterday.
She's ready to go. It's a good thing it's close to any school.
Yes. I had to show up.
She said she's also looking forward to spontaneous traveling, like fun and go. And the other thing, she said, Terry likes to golf, and I know Rick does too, she's told me. And she said, I want to go golfing in the late morning in August, anytime I want to. I hope you get to do lots of golfing. Thank you, Terry, and we appreciate it.
Up next, Mr. Wertner from Cedar.
So I have the pleasure of sharing a little bit about Ingrid on Diane and how much she means to us at Cedar Heights. So I'm not going to have you come up here. We have a few days left, and I need you. I'm tough time getting through this remaining time. So I've already told Ingrid and my colleagues today I'm going to try to do my best to get through this without crying. So please bear with me. Jeremy, thanks for kind of breaking the ice there and sharing out a little. So the reason why this is so difficult is because really Cedar Heights is losing our heart. Ingrid's the lady that holds it all together for our students, staff, and our families. She's the welcoming smile you see when you walk in our office. She's the person that stays calm in a crisis and knows what to do. Not me. I'm going to have to figure that out quickly. She's the one that sees we have 15 staff members absent, and she just visualizes it in her head how we're going to cover all those things, and then she tells me what to do. So, she knows our frequent visitors to the office. She's just great with each child. She knows them. She knows what they need to get themselves calmed down and get their days turned around. She's great at doing that for our staff too, especially me on those days. She's helped build a place where our students want to come to school, where our staff enjoy working, and where our families really want their children to attend school. So, also selfishly, I don't want Ingrid to retire. She really helps me hold everything together. I just had a conversation with one of our teachers the other day, and she was expressing how difficult it is just to keep track of everything that goes on at the end of the year. And she asked how I do that for an entire building. And I said, I just gave her one word. No. That's it. So she just makes my life easier. She anticipates when I need something done before I realize it needs to be done. She has a way with people that calms them down. Those angry parents or phone calls that we get, by the time they get to me, they're much calmer. I can have a conversation with them, which is wonderful. She fixes the errors in my newsletter, so I halfway know what I'm doing. It's really sad. I was an English teacher, so that Nashville is happy I left there a long time. She listens to me when I need to vent. She helps me think through decisions and really look at them through the lens of the building and how it impacts the people. The thing is, when kids ask me who my boss is, I always answer Mrs. Heine. Some of them come back with, I thought she was the secretary. And I said, she is. You didn't know the secretary was in charge? So I hope that our future school administrators at Cedar Heights remember that when they become principals, because we really know who's in charge at Cedar Heights. So as I was thinking about Ingrid and sitting down to write this for her, I told her I wrote this afternoon. I've sat down many times this last week and attempted to do it, and I keep breaking back. So, but what makes her a great secretary? She's definitely shown me that she has the skills to do the job, but more importantly, she's just a great person. That's the key to her success. I've been blessed these last 6 years to work with her. It's been a blessing, not just because of her support, but I've really gained a new friend over that time too. So being an elementary principal, I'm on my own a lot, and so to have somebody to confide in, and when I'm having a tough day, she's really filled that spot. So thank you for that. I won't send you any more early morning texts or emails. Ingrid's always up and doing that right along with me, so it's hard to get her to take a day off. She took 4 days last week. I thought I was going to die. Day one, I got an email. It must have been, about 6:30. Day one of her vacation. told her she needed to get off of it. You did pretty well for a while. And the next time I got one was Thursday. But I know that she'll still be in touch. I know her Cedar Heights family loves her, and she's just right down the road. So regardless of what you say, Trevor, she is going to come visit you. You told me you don't have room for her, so you better make room. Ingrid, I wish you very well in your retirement and look forward to you sharing the wonderful stories.
Thank you.
Up next from Hanson, Mrs. Westhead.
All right, I'm going to start out by acknowledging Tammy Gatts. Tammy Gatts is concluding her 35th year with us at the Cedar Falls School District. She began as a paraeducator at Gatts Elementary in 1986 and eventually transitioned to be one of our secretaries in the main office in 2011. In this capacity, Tammy's interacted with all of our students at Hanson and in the lunchroom and in the office. She's the voice on the morning announcements and the daily bus dismissal. She's the patient and helpful individual on the other end of the telephone when you call. Tammy's own children have attended Hanson and they're here today, followed by 6 out of her 7 grandkids that have had the chance to see Grandma at school. Tammy has served the Hanson community as a parent and as a colleague, and even as a school mom to myself and to Tara Eastep, often reminding us that the days are long but the years are short, and stepping away to be a mom is just an irreplaceable role. In her upcoming retirement, Tammy plans to enjoy time with her grandchildren, tend to her flower garden, which she's exceptional at, and enjoy retirement along with her husband, hopefully enjoying a trip to Italy. Tammy, thank you for your endless patience, your persistence, your adaptability, and over the years, you've changed roles, you've changed offices, you've changed teammates and administrators with such ease and support. Elizabeth Gilbert says, we must take care of our families wherever we find them. Thank you, Tammy, for being a generous member of our Hanson family and caring for each of us as if we were yours and you were ours. Enjoying every moment of your chosen adventure ahead. As a paraeducator at Hanson. She recently interned for me and is anxiously awaiting surgery tomorrow, so we are wishing you well. But upon your recovery, you plan to do a lot of camping, visiting with family, and enjoying the outdoors. Throughout the years, Mrs. Greider has worked with a wide variety of students across various grades and been a support to both teachers and students at Hanson. She has helped build independence and academic skills and prioritize keeping our students safe. Be it many recesses or in the lunchroom, supervising kids, she ensures that kids are safe and each of them belong. It has been an honor to watch her engage with a student during school closure last spring, where she met with them on Zoom to remain connected and feel supported and continue writing stories together that they got to share with one another. Mrs. Greider's work to not just build students academically, but to build their confidence and ability to self-regulate. I recently read a description of a paraeducator that describes the heartbeat of Mrs. Greider. A paraeducator is a heartfelt hero, using their talents to help students discover their own, dedicating their time and their energy every day to the students in their care and doing it all while meeting the individual needs of many. Mrs. Greider, thank you for the gift of the years you've given to the students of Cedar Falls. Congratulations on your retirement, and may you enjoy whatever journey is ahead of you. Another retiree. All right. Mrs. Danny, you're finishing your 25th year in education, all of which have been spent at Hanson Elementary, beginning with student teaching. Throughout her years at Hanson, Sue's influenced countless kids, families, and staff with her very matter-of-fact approach to life. Sue has loved She has celebrated, she has grieved, and she has given our Hanson family the opportunity to be there for her throughout life's journey. It's been a true joy. Sue has a strong appreciation for a predictable routine, turns out. Arriving at the same time every day, parking in the same parking spot every day. We were just talking about raffling that off to someone else. Warming up that beloved microwavable breakfast sandwich in the same microwave at the same time. The day the electricity went out, Sue was frantically running about the building convinced that there had to be a microwave that worked in time for the breakfast sandwich. Sue also despises being cold and can be found wearing every piece of winter gear until it's consistently 70 degrees outside. In fact, her teammates are here today, and she has gifted each of them a piece of her winter get-up. Those same earmuffs, that scarf, and that pair of mittens that she's worn to recess duty for more than the last 10 years now live with her teammates. Sue began this year knowing it would be her last, and every day since, she has lovingly reminded us of just how many days remain. Sue, how many?
6.
Yeah? That's the longest delay I've been. Although she's looking forward to spending time with her grandkids and traveling with friends, Sue will be incredibly missed at Hanson. Sue holds students to high expectations, helping them learn from their mistakes and remain accountable for their decisions. When asking students, what do you love about Miss O'Danny? They said, Miss O'Danny always gives us the best book recommendations. She treats all kids fairly. She's very funny. And if we ever have a question, she always does an incredible job of explaining and making sure that we understand. Sue, it is what it is. That's what you said. And the countdown is nearing the end, and your paper chain only has a few loops remaining. As Fred Rogers once said, often when you think you're at the end of something, you're only at the beginning of something else. And it's your turn. Enjoy, embrace the journey, and know that your Hanson family will always be ready to welcome you back home.
Up next,
I am here today to talk about Mrs. Kari Fernholz. Mrs. Fernholz began her teaching career as a 7th grade science teacher at Best Middle School in Waterloo, followed by a year of 8th grade science. Her family then moved to Augusta, Georgia, where she taught 8th grade science for 2 years. Kari stepped away from teaching to grow her family and moved with her husband's job to Georgia, North Carolina, and even 2 years in Istanbul, Turkey. I hired Kari 11 years ago at Hanson to fill a part-time position that quickly became full-time 6th grade. She also was fortunate to experience the multi-year construction process and taught her students in a portable classroom for 2 years. My favorite part of being in Kari's classroom is during greeting. She expertly engages students in discussions, and many times I'd be so engrossed that I would join in and add my 2 cents, and I'm sorry about that. Kari is also a dynamite math instructor, and I'm certain I also learned new math skills from her, which served her well as she was Hanson's math beat coach. Kari gave up her own lunch and planning time to coach our students. Since 2010, she brought 8 championships to Hanson, including this year's math championship as a virtual teacher. This year, Kari joined a group of trailblazing teachers who joined the virtual campus. We joked all year that we're building the plane while it flies, and luckily, it appears we're going to land it safely in about a week, 6 days, I hear, Sue. Thank you for your years of dedication, Kari, to the Cedar Falls students, and thank you for your years of service to our community. If you know Kari, you know she loves her family, and she loves her friends. I am certain she's going to spend a lot more time with her husband, Tim, and her kids, Sean and Katie. Another love of Kari's is golf, and I'm hearing there's tea time coming up soon tonight, so we're going to wrap this up. So I'd like to end with a quote from Ben Hogan. As you walk down the fairway of life, you must smell the roses, for you only get to play one round. So Kari, I wish you all the time in the world to smell those roses on the next walk down the fairway in your life. Congratulations.
I'm Shane Page, Director of Technology for the district. I did not prepare a speech. Once I was told that I need to be prepared to say something, I figured, well, I don't know anything about Martha, that there's not really anything that I need to prepare. After seeing the speeches already, I'm second guessing it. I did ask Martha this morning if I could share about her time in the CIA as a touring drummer for the Rock Band Kiss. She said she preferred that information we left in the past. But anyways, Martha has been here for 25 years. She basically started at the inception of our department. So she has been not only the history of the department, but the hub of the department. She's been a wealth of knowledge and resource, not only for our employees, but for everyone in the district. If you haven't seen her before, I'm sure you've talked to her or experienced her at some point. If you are within the district, she is very smart, kind, echoing pretty much every comment that everybody made prior to me getting up here. She has all of those traits and qualities. When she announced to the staff, my staff, that she was planning to retire, the sentiment that they had was pretty much the same thing that I felt. They're like, oh man, there's something coming in work without Maria. With a few side comments that, they dreaded the days where she wasn't there because she is, just an excellent person, coworker, friend, pretty much to everyone on our team. So I used to joke with her that she could retire until I was ready to retire, but apparently she changed her mind and decided to retire early. So I always thought when the day came that she decided to retire and announced that to me that I would be very distraught, very sad. She has been, as I said, a great friend, a great employee the entire time that I've been here. However, instead of being sad, I was actually very happy for her because I cannot think of anyone that deserves retirement, an enjoyment in life more than Martha does. So that's about all I can say about that. Congratulations.
You guys thought you were done with something like that? I'm back. Yeah. More bad jokes. Kathy Ralston. Kathy's one of our English language arts teachers at Old Cedar High. 43 years in education. So I can probably just stop right there. 43 years in education, that says enough in itself. 26 years in our district and at home, serving our students here in Cedar Falls. When I was thinking about what I wanted to share about Kathy, probably, again, an experience this year came to mind most frequently. We decided that we wanted to implement and adopt a new ELA curriculum for our next school year in English. And certainly we knew Kathy's circumstances going into that. But we decided to go ahead and pilot some of the new curriculums towards the end of the school year, late April, early May, and really had no intent for Kathy to be a part of that process. We figured end of a long and challenging school year filled with many changes, lots of hurdles to get over. Kathy, if you don't want to participate in this, we will certainly understand. Continue to do the things that we've always done because they're great things anyway. When Kathy heard that the 7th grade team was going to jump in and do some piloting, she decided she was going to jump in full force. So, what I think it suggests to me, obviously, is the level of commitment that Kathy has to the team, to the profession, her professionalism, passion that she still has after 43 years to care for our students, to care for her teammates, all of those things that make up a teacher and the person that she served with. So, and just to me, again, that speaks volumes about the job that she's done in our district and the willingness to continue to grow as a professional even after 40 years. In this school year especially. Talked with her a little bit about some of the things that she's most looking forward to in retirement. She talked about spending time with her grandson, who is here today. And really looking forward to that, and also doing some volunteer work with the local theater companies around the Cedar Valley. She also made a point that she wanted me to include in there that another thing that she's really looking forward to in retirement is being able to use the restroom whenever she needs to. It's the little things in life that sometimes really make a difference. Those are the things that she's looking forward to more as she moves into this next stage in her career. Then she kind of finished things up when we were talking and going back and forth over email. She just said, the thing that I'm going to miss the most is my own family. And certainly, that family is the home that she's going. So, congratulations on your retirement and best wishes for the future.
So this is, again, always a bittersweet afternoon, but I hope you now know why I said this is one of my favorite activities, my favorite nights of the year. We can't thank you enough for all you've provided, all you've done for our school, our district, and just the sentiments that you just heard about our retirees is so important. So we have quite a bit of food, some drinks back there. We ask everybody to certainly participate. I would ask one favor, who is underneath 10 years old in this room? Can you raise your hand? You need to take at least 2 cupcakes.